discuss problems 5 and 6. If we head on to this, we can see this is the problem 6. Now, let's first check the Verilog. This is the Verilog of output of 5. Okay. This is a Verilog output of 5. Now, as we can see here, if all switches are off, the output is also off. But if the switches C is on, the output is 1. Now, this is because AND gate here is active because of the NOT gate A, and of course the switch on C. And this OR gate only requires one output or one input to produce an output. Now, how about B? Well, as we can see here, because of the two AND gates, it clearly does not reach the lamp. And how about the output B and C? Well, now this triggers at least two outputs because gate A, B, and C is active and not A and C is also active. Well, this is not an XOR gate, so even just one or all input gates are receiving a signal, which means it will produce an output. Now let's check 1100. Well, as we can see here, it did not reach, the signal did not reach the lamp, so it's still off. How about 101? Still off. And 110. Well, we sent a signal to one of the OR gates, so of course the lamp is on. Now, how about if we turn them all on? Well, we managed to produce at least two signals in the OR gate, so the lamp is still on, of course. Now, let's head on to problem 6. Now, this is the Verilog of the Verilog output of problem 6, 001111. Well, as we can see here, most of the output produces an open lamp. Now, let's check it, shall we? C, and what if it's B? Well, since most of the gates are OR gates, we can see that the lamp easily activates because most of the wires are connected to both OR switch, and the two OR switch or OR gates are connected to one AND gate. Now let's check it. Okay, still 1. What? How about 100? Okay. How about 101? Okay. How about 111? Okay, and 110. Well, as we can see here, we've done all the checks, and this checks out. My first video is being uploaded to prepare it for viewing. I will be preparing this last part of my midterm video also. But now I'm gonna show you how we get the answer. Well, of course, it was both generated by the table is both generated by the Verilog. But first, let's check it out if the Verilog outputs matches the circuits. Now let's check here. A and B is off, so the F is also off. Now the as you can see here, as you may have noticed here, the tables doesn't look that complicated, but the wiring, however, does. This is because of the given problem. A lot of solution or equation gates it was needed, or gates and then gates was needed. Now let's check it. If B is on, so we can see here the light bulb turns on. Now this is because NOT gate turns off, so let's focus on NOT A and B gate. So since that is on, the OR gate here receives a signal which is enough to make it send one signal to another OR gate, which turns the light on. And how about 10? Now, as we can see here, this middle OR gate, because of the NOT B and it's connected to gate A and NOT B, it sends one output signal to an OR gate, which sends one output signal to another OR gate, which is connected to the lamp. What if both of them are on? As you can see here, the bottom OR gate receives a signal from the AND gate, the gate A and B. This is because the other gates are not active because of the NOT gates of NOT A and NOT B. So that matches it. Now let's head on to the last problem, or number 8. As you can see here, this is the opposite of problem 7, where the circuit looks very simple, but the table looks like there's a lot, but there isn't. Now let's check it. 0, 0 is 0. How about this? Not enough, of course, because there's an AND gate. How about the middle? Of course not. And how about both? Let's turn them on. Okay, of course, because the AND gate receives two signals, it outputs one signal to the OR gate, which turns on the light. How about this? Okay, as you can see, as you may have noticed here, no matter what we do, as long as the X gate is on, because it's directly connected to an OR gate, the light bulb will also turn on as long as the X is on. Now, how about this? This, of course, it's all on because the X gate here is on. Now, we don't need to turn on any more of them if we just use the X gate instead, which is much more simpler. Now, I'm going to upload this second part to YouTube, and this concludes my midterms for HDL. Have a good morning or night, sir.